All right, so every year the pool industry has a number of national awards, recognition for business owners, individual pool technicians, and even retail staff. You've got like the Sparza Awards each year in every state across Australia. But what I don't see a lot of is conversations around national and regional awards for individual franchises. So I know that some of the other larger franchises have national awards, but I don't see much of it published. So what I wanted to do was just have a little quick chat about that. So with pool care, before that, business is tough, right? So if you're taking on a financial challenge, uh, not only that, but mentally challenged business or something that you're new to, it can be tough. Um, and there's moments of pride, there's moments of sometimes sadness, defeat. You feel defeated and inflated. So many emotions that go on. I take my hat off to independent business owners or independent pool guys who just go out there on the wing, because myself personally, coming into the industry with no prior experience, it was tough. It was not only learning business, the financials, my suppliers, who do I contact, how do I set up accounts, how do I pay, what products to use, but also the training. So having to learn all that on your own, or if you're lucky enough to have a mentor, was not quite a challenge that I really wanted to come against. I wanted to be part of a group that had all that in a package, and it could teach me to achieve what I wanted to achieve. And that's why I chose a franchise, because I get a lot of people ask me, you can do this on your own, Jace. Like, just go out independent, you'll kick goals, don't worry about gyms, don't worry about a franchise group, keep all that money aside. It's really not that much we pay in fees. I'm not going to talk about this today. That's not what the point of the video is. But what I'm getting at is, even though you buy into a franchise, let's say gyms, pool care, for example, you are buying a business. So it's your business when you purchase it. When you purchase it, obviously you're purchasing the territory rights as well. So it's an area that you can advertise purely in yourself and grow your business. That's not what this chat is about. The chat is about having being part of the gyms group, or in pool care in my case. It allows our guys to come in. Some are new to business, never run a business in their life. Some have never touched a pool in their life. So to have that training, the stress of learning a new industry, learning how to run a business, setting up accounts, trade accounts, introducing to suppliers, and just learning the tools of trade can be very stressful, challenging, but also extremely rewarding. So not only rewarding financially, it's rewarding for them for their lifestyle. Now, when I say lifestyle, I don't mean fancy boats and cars and all that sort of stuff. If that's your thing, hat off to you. But when we talk lifestyle, we talk about more time at home with the family. Eventually, over time, after you've built the business, you're able to work, if you choose, 3 or 4 days a week, instead of having to flog your guts for 40, 50 hours a week. That comes over time after you've built it. So that's one of the lifestyle rewards, is part of it. But also similar to the Sparza Awards, which is a award based on all businesses throughout the state. So they have state awards first, and then you have a national award. So all the winners of the state are then pooled together, and a national award winner is drawn. Interesting enough, pool care, some of our pool care franchisees over the years have actually won those state awards, and some of them have actually gone on to win the national award, which is quite a proud moment, not only for Jim's Pool Care, because it's one of our team. It's for the individuals, and the partners. We've got a lot of partners, businesses, husband and wife, father and son teams, and that's a huge proud moment for them. So with Pool Care, we also have the National Awards, which is held at our national conference. So each year we pick an area where we have a national conference. And the conference days are about learning extra skills for your business, ideas, tips that you can implement in your business, networking with suppliers, looking at new products. The list goes on. More importantly, it's networking with the other franchisees across Australia. And part of that conference is obviously dinner and drinks at night, which is a great part of it. But it's the awards. It's the recognition of our top performers in both the regional areas and the national levels. And this is exciting. So over the years, I've won some regional awards myself in the past and some national awards. But now I'm in the role that I'm in as a franchisor. I get to see my team, which people who know me, I'm very proud of and can get very emotional when I talk about them. Um, it's a chance for them to nominate themselves. Now, a lot of people don't nominate for awards because you've actually got to self nominate yourself for those awards. And to some degree, you've got to have the backing of your franchisor. Now, a lot of people don't like to self promote. It can be a personality thing, or it could be a bit of an attitude where, I think that, some might say that I think that I should win the award because you think I'm good or I'm good. Well, the reason why we do the self nominations is it takes all the individual thoughts from the franchisor or the management team, because it's not equal. It's their opinion, and they're going to push their franchisee to win that award because it's their person, right? You get what I'm saying. So self nominations about them learning the skill to self promote, so that builds confidence in themselves, to promote themselves as the people who they are and the actual awesome business that they've created, the customer service they provide, and any other skills or whatever else they want to put in. By self nominating, it takes out the equation of anyone being favourite. There's no favouritism, because those awards then get gone through with the divisional franchisor, and also a selective team that he picks to actually help go through those awards and decide who's going to be the winner. Now, for example, this year's conference, we actually were privileged to have Lauren Clement provide or sort of host the days for us, which was awesome. But she's also recognised an award sort of judge, you could say. This year we had record numbers of people self-promote and self-apply, so it was very hard to, from what I hear, to actually break down the final winners. For those who win the awards, it's an opportunity for them to be recognised not only by their peers at national conference, but it gives them a chance and the opportunity to celebrate that with their customers, okay, and the community. So it's something he's super proud of. And anyone who wins a national or regional award, I highly encourage you to self-promote that on your socials. Send out a newsletter to your customers. Just promote it. Be proud of what you've achieved, because as the franchise group grows, it gets harder and harder. You're up against a lot of people, right? Personally, this year, I'm super proud. So I gave out 4 regional awards. Each year, every franchisor gives out an award. And as the region grows, and in my case, we're coming up, well, at the moment, we've got 17 guys in our region. And it gets really hard to determine who you're going to give the award to each year, because new people come in, or some franchisees decide that they're going to upskill and work on their business really hard. And they just shock you sometimes to the point where you just like you become like a super proud kind of dad. I don't want that to sound weird, but you become very proud of who you've recruited in as a franchisee, trained them, and had other guys help them with help you with the training and educate them how to run a very successful business, upskill. It's a proud moment to see them coming from new to what they actually achieve. So this year, three of my regional award winners went on to win national awards. So my regional award winners was Philip Clark from Terrigal. So Philip joined us just over, 12, 14, maybe 15 months ago. He brought an established business and he's just taken it all in, and he's done all the processes, training, built business. The customers love him. Income's increasing month by month, and he's just generally a really nice guy. So he got the regional rookie award from myself, and then you got the next award was the growth. So we give out a growth award. Now the growth award for a franchisee, both regionally and nationally, isn't always about numbers. So it's not about who makes the most money or who has the most regular clients. It's a combination of those things, but also growth as an individual, growth as a business person. Growth could also be growth in reviews, positive reviews from customers. There's a whole heap of things that demonstrate that they've grown as business people, both financially and personally, if that makes sense. So this year, the regional one went to Josh Morgan from Woi Woi here on the Central Coast. Josh has really come a long way in the last 12 months. So interesting story is Josh was actually a casual customer of mine many, many years ago. I believe he's been with us coming on 4 years now. And he actually asked me for a job at one point. I brushed him off, and then he asked me about a franchise. He wanted to buy my business. I didn't want to sell at that stage, but what I'd done was I actually come up with an idea of packaging up some customers and giving him a crack with his own territory. In the last 12 months, he's grown that business continually, getting more customers, great reviews. And I end up taking the financial risk and decision, which most business owners know, on taking a full-time staff member. That's huge commitment, right? So that he can take his business to the next level. And he actually went on to win the National Growth Award for Jim's Pool Care Australia, which is a huge award. With Jim's Pool Care, we're sitting at 167 or 169 franchisees across Australia, and they're all within 15 regions. So I'm not sure of the numbers of people who nominated, but I believe it was quite significant this year, because it grows each year. But to be drawn out of that and to be identified as one of those award winners is something that he should be proud of, because I definitely am. The next award, we move on to what we call the Entrepreneur Award. Now, look, entrepreneur can be defined by so many different variants. There's a lot of people on social media that, I think the word's overused. I think if you search it, there's no actual definite definition of what an entrepreneur is. But basically, I actually wrote it down. It's a person who starts a business and takes on a financial and personal risk to make profit. So there you go. You can sum that up, right? So the gentleman who won both my region award and went on to win the national award is Steve Punchin from Fern Bay. Now, Fern Bay is a lovely little pocket of Port Stephens here in New South Wales. Interesting story with Steve. He's been with us 14, 15 months. He wanted to come on board just before winter. And he's in an area of my region that I don't know. I wasn't 100% 110. Sorry, I wasn't 110% confident that it was the right move at the right that particular time of year. But also, I was concerned about that pocket of the region because it's really hard to get traction from any sort of social media or digital marketing. I don't know what it is, but majority of people say that. But anyway, long story short, he took the bull by the horns, if you want to say, and he has just worked hard tremendously in his area. Great customer service. Um, he's taken on all the systems that we have in place, all the training that we have in place, and he's just embraced it. He takes on really challenging situations. He actually has a really good Facebook page. So if you search up Jim's Pool Care, Fern Bay, he makes some really cool content. He's just one of those guys that just has a go. And that's one of the things with business, right? If you're not prepared to put 110% into your business, regardless of being independent or even in a franchise group, you're not going to succeed. Uh, Particularly in a franchise group, there's systems and training already in place that's actually worked over a number of years, right? So if you also want to come in and change those systems and do things your way, you're not going to be very successful. But a little bit off topic, back to Steve. Steve embraced everything and he's built a very successful business. Someone I wasn't hesitant because of him as the individual. I was hesitant about the time of year and more importantly, the area that he's taken on because as a franchisor, I'm not here just to sell a business to anyone who has money, right? Or a heartbeat. I'm very selective. If you're looking to buy into my region, there's a certain criteria that you've got to meet. But more importantly, you've got to be someone who will fit the brand, but also the group. And Steve is exactly an example of that. He's come in and he's just kicked goals. So I'm super proud of Steve. Went on to win the National Entrepreneur Award, which is a massive award to win and a very hard award to win with Pool Care on a national level, purely because of the different ways you can interpret or define entrepreneur. So congratulations, buddy. Another one that we recognise in Pool Care is the franchisee of the year. So each franchisor gets to do a regional franchisee. So that's normally a franchisee within the region that just stands out. Same thing, it's not about figures, it's not about money, it's not about regular clients, how many, whatever you got going on in your business. It's about little extra things that you do. So this year, my franchisee of the year award for my region went to James Stelton Pool from Toronto in Newcastle. And the reason he won the award is James is probably a top performer in so many ways. He has a very successful business, very well known in the industry. He's been in the industry a long time. But he goes above and beyond. So he has now become one of my trainers up north. So because of the distance and me wanting to spend more time as a franchisor to support my team, he's taken on a role up there to train some new recruits coming in, which funny enough, Steve, the previous guy, was one of his ones that he trained, and look where Steve went. So I'm super proud in that. But he's also a franchisee that's not selfish or self-centered. I'm not saying that anyone else is, but what I'm getting at is he's the first to answer their phone calls and give technical support. He likes to turn up to every meeting. He loves promoting the business and he's super proud of just being part of the gyms group. And he loves Pool Care. So many other reasons why, but I want to keep it short. Funny story though, I like to give a bit of a story with my guys. So James actually taught me. So in 2016, when I brought a franchise off the franchisor at the time, I was straight in a van with James, and he actually taught me what I needed to know to get going. And then years on down the track, I took on the franchisor role from that. And here he is. He's one of those stories that I'm super proud to be not only a fellow franchisee, but also his franchisor. He's only a young fella. He's got a beautiful little family, and he just loves the gyms group. So he went on to win the national award. So the National Franchisee of the Year for Gyms Pool Care. The thing that made him stand out with that is um, he a lot of his fellow franchisees wrote in and gave him some condemnations or whatever the word is, and just boosted him up and gave some feedback to the national group or the divisionals, on how much they appreciate his support, his training, his knowledge, his wisdom, and his selflessness in the business. So he got a lot of recommendations from his fellow franchisees, which has not ever been seen before. So yeah, it was well deserved, and he should be super proud because I know that his team is. So congrats, James, mate. Well deserved. One other thing I want to mention about national awards. I haven't been to a Sparza award for a while, so I'm not sure what the go is with that or the process with that is. But I'll talk from a pool care. So every national conference at Gyms Pool Care, when we give out our national awards, our suppliers, so our preferred suppliers, who we work alongside with, they give out awards. So some of these awards are quite financially viable, you know, things like robots or chlorinators and stuff like that, that these guys can win, but also go to on sell to a customer, which, you know, in return gives them a little bit more profit in their pocket. So that's their reward for actually self-nominating, self-promoting, and just having a go at business and having a go at self-promoting themselves. Because, you know, I believe everyone in pool care should self-promote. You hear so many stories across the country. So next year we're in an exciting location. I'm not going to announce that here, but it's an awesome location. So I'd love to see everyone there. Thank you again to our suppliers, and everyone should come to conference next year. Everyone should self-nominate for an award. So yeah, next year's conference, self-nominate, come along. But also outside of the franchise group, if you're in a business, community awards, if you're running a pool business, self-nominate yourself, put yourself up there, get your customers to promote your business locally. There's a lot of community awards, a lot of state awards. Enter into Splash Awards or Sparza Awards every year, and just be proud of what you've achieved. Yeah, there's ups and downs, but just be proud. And I think everyone in any industry, but more important, the pool, self-promote, go for awards, and just celebrate. Thanks for watching. I know I can ramble, but hey, I can ramble to a camera and it's free. Enjoy your day.